Hey everybody, welcome back. Dimitri, thank you so much. The level 1 fortress boss is really starting to take form. And for those of you that are just tuning in, today we are looking at the Fortress of Flesh. The Fortress of Flesh, which is the end boss for level 1. This is the latest render. See if I can do that. Yeah, cool. So it's the latest render. It's this is the damage state, so it's missing its weapons and such. So, and today we are going to give Dimitri a little bit of guidance on what we want to do for animation wise. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Let's hop into it. All right. I went back to a previous version that isn't fully rendered, but has mainly the colorization, which is great. And here we have basically, well, technically we have 3 states, but I think the 2 damage states are totally fine. So at least let me double check that. Actually, let me just take a look real quick. Fortress of Flesh. Flesh! Maybe we should look at this one. Yeah, it's probably better. All right, cool. Open this in a new tab. Easy peasy. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at my notes real quick. So I got that. Oh, wrong one. Hello, notes. There we go. Okay, cool. So Dimitri, I think what I'm looking for, right, is we can probably do this in 4 frames. I don't think we need to do too many more because we don't have a lot of rotating bits or whatnot. So 4 frames probably fine. Yeah, so let's see here. With the face, so the face, the jaws should snap, so it should do like a chomping. And we've got 4 frames, so I you know, like we can alternate the way they chomp from the top and the bottom, so they don't chomp in unison, so they can offset their chomping, right? Yeah, so lower jaws snap up, and then kind of come back, right? So, and then I think the other bit is for the miniguns. Let's see if the barrels can rotate. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're too small to notice that they have motion. But I thought we'd give it a try. But we definitely want the barrels to. Let's have the barrels. You know, it's kind of a nod to Contra in this case. So the barrels can go deeper, and then come out. So we have basically, you know, like a 2-framer here, just to put some motion on there. So I don't think they need to retract completely. Maybe halfway would be fine. But also, let's have the when we look at these jaws here. So the jaw should pull back a little bit, so they should flay open, right? So. And then, so this one comes up, this one comes back a little bit, this one goes out. And so it's like a kind of like a tri-pincher, if you will, right? So, and I think that's it for that there. So we did that. Skipping down to the bottom real quick. This guy's great. So here, not huge chomping. Let's do more like a teeth gnashing, right? So, just the jaws come close together and kind of have a little bit of like a grind to it, right? Where it's almost like it's grinding his teeth. And then I think this is what I consider like the furthest open state. So we can go compressed where the bottom jaw comes up, really pulls all the teeth together, and then jaw comes back out. Yeah, so there's that. And I think, so for the purple goo, it's organic. So it should move, maybe like a little bit of a waver. We only have 4 frames, so it doesn't have to move a ton, but just enough to show, I think, that like the, you know, that it's like living flesh, if you will. So we can make a treatment down there too. It could be that they wave a bit, or they kind of undulate. You don't get much undulation with 4 frames, but I think it's totally fine. So, and okay, so I think that was it for the top parts. Oh, also here, so for the tenderly flesh, then what I want to do is so here I think all we need is like some of the elements just need to, we can scale it a little bit, but the individual elements can parallax a little, maybe just enough to suggest that there's motion, that it's living material. It doesn't have to go crazy. So yeah, I think that was that there. And then on the because you blow off these covers, right? That's what we've talked about, and then the covers are, you blow off the faces. They're the covers at this point, and then underneath there's like essentially this brain eye thing that's powering it, right? This doesn't have any eyes down here, so I think it's kind of cool that through these brain eyes. So the brain eyes should dilate. So similar to maybe how we did the orifice on the Sea Satan, yeah. So I thought that the irises could open, and then you know, maybe will depend on if there's actually, if they open big enough, we can actually do like a pearly, like a pearl iris, like almost like a milky white iris that's only revealed once it's fully dilated. So yeah, so we have 2 frames there, or 2 main frames where it opens and then it stays open for 2 frames and then closes, and then rinse and repeat. And technically, I guess it's open 1, 2, 3. It can just cycle. So I don't, you know, if we need an in between frame, I'd be fine. But yeah, so I think that's fine. And then is there anything else? So I think I think what I'll do is when we blow out the eyeball bits, I don't think we need to animate this stuff. I think I'll just have some particles for the goo, that and the drippy blood bits, of course. And I think that is it. I really enjoy where we're at with this guy so far. And let's see, let's go back here. Take a quick look at the render. And yeah, this is starting to come along nicely. So the other thing to keep in mind, Dimitri, is that I think that, you know, we're basically, the way we put him into the game is going to be he's going to have it's going to be right at the jawline. So we might actually do more for kind of the shoulders and whatnot, but that'll be a separate asset. And we don't have to worry about that right now. That's not what this guy's about. That's just when we use this guy later on, because I think I really want to have some sequences where this guy has a presence. So, and then, yeah, so I think that's all the big bits. Let me take a look. Was there anything else? And then, yeah, I'm really anxious to get, if you could in the next version, Dimitri, if you could get me, because I kind of, oh, that's the other thing. That's right. So it's fine that you're delivering these for the most part like this, but I can't, we shouldn't put really big size textures into the engine that has this much alpha, right? So what we basically need to do is crop it into essentially, because they're separate assets, so it needs to be power 2 resolution. So yeah, so when you deliver, it would be helpful if you could already deliver them in the cropped power 2 version. And then I think the only other thing is, all right, let's take a look. Is I'm just looking at this guy again. So I think, yeah, so if I have the cropped assets, give me, we'll cut out the skulls, and maybe tomorrow with your delivery, I will work on getting it into engine. And then we can get down to final sizing and layout, because like I said, these are separate assets. I have to hook them up. So, and that should be fine in terms of like, I want to make sure that we're tall enough to include the cannons, of course, the face bits, but also I want to see how much of that lower jaw we can get into the game, because I really want to make sure that you can see it. I think it's a really nice prominent part, even though it doesn't do anything. It's just, but I think it really fills in the weirdness of the demon itself. So, okay. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks to everyone that's out there watching and liking and subscribing. I very much appreciate you. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for all the playtests. I've been going through playtest footage, and it's been a lot of fun. And I've been collecting essentially things to tweak and improve, and to make new builds. We do build every 2-ish weeks or so that kind of have the nice delta of changes and feedback. And without further ado, talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.